First of all, I want to just thank you all for the privilege to be here, not only hopefully to serve you for a few minutes here, but also to attend. I have some friends that have gone to TED in the past, and I've been thinking about coming, and I was on the edge, and then I got invited, and I said, I want to come. So I've attended about 2/3 of this, and I've gotten an enormous amount, not only from the speakers, but from so many people that I've met. I don't think in all the places I've spoken or been around, and I've been privileged to be in a lot of great places, as I'm sure you have, I've ever seen such a concentration of both talent, brains, but also passion and a common value. There's a community here about contribution, and it's really beautiful. So I thank you. I'll be back as a participant myself on an ongoing basis, and I thank everybody for their participation as well very much.
Tony fucking Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. People are only interested in what you have to say to the degree that you're interested in them. Just watch how he opens. This is his TED speech, one of his greatest speeches of all time, put his career on a whole new level, and just watch the humility and the gratitude with which he opens. I mean, how can you not listen to that man for the rest of the talk? So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna react in live. I don't know it literally by heart. I have listened to it in the past, but it's been a while. So now we're gonna react to it in live and basically figure out what makes that man so great at speaking. Let's go.
Thank you. I have to tell you, I'm both challenged and excited. My excitement is I get a chance to give something back. My challenge is the shortest seminar I usually do is 50 hours. And I'm not exaggerating.
Okay, so see how he said contrast. Contrast is great. Contrast creates attraction. So you want to create polarity as fast as possible, conflict. I'm both challenged and excited. And watch how indirectly, by saying that his shortest seminar is usually 50 hours, then what that assumes in the background is that he is about to compress so much value into a short talk. You better listen. Isn't that a masterpiece? And the humor also, of course, you want to break the pattern. You want to decrease the tension in the room. You want a little bit of humor. Let's keep watching.
I do weekends, and what I do more than that, obviously, coach people, but I'm into immersion, because how'd you learn language? You didn't learn it by just learning principles. You got in it, and you did it so often that it became real. And my stuff isn't pre-programmed. You know, something happens in the room, I ask a question, and I play off what's going there. In 17 minutes, that's not gonna happen. I know we're gonna put the principles across, and I'm beyond respectful to the format, and I've gotten great value from it, although Lisa Randall, I felt very tough for how to explain Einstein's theories in 18 minutes. To make sure that you're served, though, because I really came here to serve.
Oh, and also paying attention to detail. You know, when you're on a date or whatever, you're getting to know someone, and then a few days in, that person mentions something you said a while ago. You're like, wow, you paid attention. That happens at scale as well.
I put some tapes in your box, but I want you to know that if you want to use net time, I call it no extra time, to learn some of these things and use them at a deeper level, if you call my office and you're from TED, you're on the list, you can get any product I have, there's no charge for it. And if you ever want to come to a seminar, I'd love to have you as my guest as well for something in more depth. So my gift to you first.
Starting out with a gift, very humble, looking down, thank you.
So, the race begins. I've probably put a lot in here because I really want to try and serve you, and I hope it doesn't just sound like philosophy since we can't do the interaction at the same level, although I hope you'll participate with me a bit. The bottom line of why I'm here is that I'm really in a position, I'm not here to motivate you, obviously, you don't need that. And a lot of times that's what people think I do, and it's the furthest thing from it. What happens though is people say to me, well, I don't need any motivation. And I say, well, that's interesting, that's not what I do. I'm the why guy. I don't know why you do what you do. What is your motive for action? What is it that drives you in your life today, not 10 years ago, or are you running the same pattern? Because I believe that the invisible force of internal drive activated is the most important thing in the world. I'm here because I believe emotion is the force of life. All of us here have great minds. You know, most of us here have great minds, right? I don't know if I'm in the category, but we all know how to think. And with our minds, we can rationalize anything. We can make anything happen. We can, I agree with what was described a few days ago about this idea that people work in their self-interest. But we all know that you don't work in your self-interest all the time. Because when emotion comes into it, the wiring changes in the way it functions. And so it's wonderful for us to think intellectually about how the life of the world is.
Okay, there's already so much to say. There's already so much to say. First of all, notice how from time to time he drops in humility. It's so important for a guy like him because otherwise, like he said, people immediately put guards on. So people immediately go, I don't need no motivation. Who are you to tell me what to do? And so there's this playful way you have to interact with people when you're on stage, when you're supposed to be the authority, and humility is such a great skill to have and hack to have. So that's one of my comments. The other comment I have is how he immediately goes to why. And so when he's starting to talk about why we're here, purpose, that's where he reminds people of the juice. That's where I agree with him. If people don't know why they're doing what they're doing, they're not going to do it. And so every time you speak, if you get to smoothly remind people of what their goals are, of what their deepest purposes are, immediately, since you reminded them of that, they start associating that to you. So he does that amazingly. And last but not least, I want you guys to notice he is walking from one side to the other, watching the end of the crowd, but also locking in with people on the front row. At least I'm assuming, but that's how it looks like. And you can feel the intensity. He makes it at the same time grandiose. So he talks about to everyone. And at the same time, he's locking in on a personal level with people. And you can see the intense pauses from time to time as well.
And contribute more. And two, so that hopefully we can not just understand other people more, but maybe appreciate them more and create the kinds of connections that can stop some of the challenges that we face in our society today. They're only going to get magnified by the very technology that's connecting us, because it's making us intersect. And that intersection doesn't always create the view of everybody now understands everybody and everybody appreciates everybody. So
I want you also to notice all the hand gestures and the variety in the expressions of his face, right? You can see the emotion. That's super important when someone is speaking, just as I'm doing right now.
I've had an obsession basically for 30 years. And that obsession has been what makes the difference in the quality of people's lives? What makes the difference in their performance? Because that's what I got hired to do. I got to produce the result now. That's what I've done for 30 years. I get the phone call when the athlete is burning down on national television and they were ahead by 5 strokes and now they can't get back on the course. And I got to do something right now to get the result or nothing matters. I get the phone call when the child is going to commit suicide, and I got to do something right now. And in 29 years, I'm very grateful to tell you I've never lost one in 29 years. Doesn't mean I won't someday, but I haven't done it. And the reason is an understanding of these human needs that I want to talk to you about. So when I get those calls about performance, that's one thing, like how do you make a change? But also, I'm looking to see what is it that's shaping that person's ability to contribute, to do something beyond themselves. So maybe the real question is, I look at life and say there's 2 master lessons. One is there's the science of achievement, which almost everyone in this room has mastered to an amazing extent. That's how do you take the invisible and make it visible.
Okay, so before we keep going, again, I want to point out to when he smoothly said, I've been doing that for 30 years. Of course, you want to put evidence, you want to put authority. Why should people listen to you? And then he used stories. Tony Robbins is a master at storytelling. So he immediately went to extreme examples. Athlete breaking down on live television, or child that's about to eliminate themselves. So people immediately grabs attention. It's an extreme. People love thinking in extremes, right? Extreme, boom, grabs attention. Wow, if he could solve that, then he could solve all my problems. Now they listen to him even more. Now watch what's about to happen, because I think I remember it's about in this area of the video.
Right? How you take what you dream about and make it happen, whether it be your business, your contribution to society, money, whatever it is for you, your body, your family. But the other lesson of life that is rarely mastered is the art of fulfillment. Because science is easy, right? We know the rules, you write the code, you follow those, and you get the result. Once you know the game, you just, you up the ante, don't you? But when it comes to fulfillment, that's an art. And the reason is it's about appreciation and it's about contribution. You can only feel so much by yourself. So I've had an interesting laboratory to try to answer the question of the real question, which is what's the difference in somebody's life if you look at somebody like those people that you've given everything to, like all the resources they say they need. You gave them not a $100 computer, you gave them the best computer. You gave them love, you gave them joy, you were there to comfort them. And those people very often, and you know some of them I'm sure, end up the rest of their life with all this love, education, money, and background, spending their life going in and out of rehab. And then you meet people that have been through ultimate pain.
The pauses. The intensity. And notice how very often when he finishes a phrase, he finishes it like this. And then there's a pause. All of this creates these emotional hooks. It's such a masterpiece.
Psychologically, sexually, spiritually, emotionally abused, and not always, but often they become some of the people that contribute the most to society. So the question we got to ask ourselves really is, what is it? What is it that shapes us? And we live in a therapy culture. Most of us don't do that, but the culture is a therapy culture. And what I mean by that is the mindset that we are our past. And everybody in this room, you wouldn't be in this room if you bought that theory, but most of society thinks biography is destiny. The past equals the future. And of course it does if you live there. But what people in this room know, and what we have to remind ourselves though, because you can know something intellectually, you can know what to do and then not use it, not apply it. So really we're going to remind
Not use it, not apply it. So these are the little things that make him hypnotic. I want you guys to realize as you're listening to that video right now, you're probably already getting lost in what he's saying. At least I am, right? You're already drawn into what he's saying. He's mastered hypnotic speaking. And for that, you need vocal variety. So you need to, from time to time, just, change a little bit of how you speak. This is what he's doing the whole time, if you guys notice.
ourselves is decision is the ultimate power. That's what it really is. Now, when you ask people, have you failed to achieve something? How many have ever failed to achieve something significant in your life? Say I. Thanks for the interaction on a high level there.
Okay, so this is a key moment. So he's testing the synergy with the crowd. He's testing how involved the crowd is, right? So that's a classic Tony Robbins, say I, right? If you can relate to this, say I, and then the crowd screams I. If you've ever been to his events, it's crazy. And so now he's in a TED environment, right? With all of these top CEOs and top people. Now he's like, if you can relate, say I. And then some people are like, I. Immediately, he doesn't lose frame. He makes a joke out of it. He goes into humility. He's joking about it. So watch what happens the second time he does it in a few minutes.
But if you ask people, why didn't you achieve something? Somebody who's working for you, or a partner, or even yourself, and you failed to achieve a goal, what's the reason people say they failed to achieve? What do they tell you? Tell me. Come on, out loud. Didn't know enough, didn't have the knowledge, didn't have the money, didn't have the time.
What a beautiful way to engage the crowd. It's starting. You can feel the crowd engagement going up and up. He's saying it as if for sure someone's going to answer. There's so much certainty, right? And then people start answering.
Didn't have the technology, I didn't have the right manager. Didn't have the Supreme Court.
So now immediately, since this is a particular situation, probably you guys cannot relate. At least I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it's obviously an inside joke that a lot of people can understand. So the crowd is starting to be united. That's where, bro, the energy is just going to explode.
And what do all those, including the Supreme Court, have in common? They are a claim to you missing resources. And they may be accurate. You may not have the money. You may not have the Supreme Court. But that is not the defining factor.
So now there starts to be drama. Oh, and people love it. Now there's drama.
And you correct me if I'm wrong. The defining factor is never resources, it's resourcefulness. And what I mean specifically, rather than just some phrase, is if you have emotion, human emotion, something that I experienced from you day before yesterday at a level that is as profound as I've ever experienced, and if you'd communicated with that emotion, I believe you would have won.
Now it's getting personal. I think it was a candidate to become a president.
But how easy for me to tell him what he should do.
Immediately backed up with humility.
Idiot, Robbins. But I know when we watched the debate at that time, there were emotions that blocked people's ability to get this man's intellect and capacity and the way they came across to some people in that day. Because I know people that wanted to vote in your direction and didn't, and I was upset. But there was emotion that was there. How many know what I'm talking about here? Say I.
Y'all notice this? I get so hyped at moments like this. A couple of minutes ago, say I, Hi. Thank you for your participation here, guys. As soon as drama came in, as soon as people got involved emotionally, now.
But there was emotion that was there. How many know what I'm talking about here? Say I. So
The whole crowd of CEOs, potential presidents, all being like, humans are humans.
emotion is it, and if we get the right emotion, we can get ourselves to do anything. We can get through it. If you're creative enough, playful enough, fun
Keeps on doing that, and as you can see, the intensity keeps on getting higher and higher.
enough, can you get through to anybody, yes or no? If you don't have the money, but you're creative and determined enough, you find the way. So this is the ultimate resource, but this is not the story that people tell us, right? The story people tell us is a bunch of different stories. They tell us we don't have the resources, but ultimately, if you take a look here, flip it up if you would, they say, what are all the reasons they have in common? We've said that. Next one, please. He's broken my pattern.
See, again, joking with the crowd, making it about insights, things that are not scripted, because what you don't want to feel when you're listening to someone speak is that they scripted all the thing. People hate it.
But I appreciated the energy, I'll tell you that. What determines your resources? We've said decisions shape destiny, which is my focus here. If decisions shape destiny, what determines it is 3 decisions. What are you going to focus on? Right now, you have to decide what you're going to focus on. In this second, consciously or unconsciously, the minute you decide to focus on something, you got to give it a meaning. And whatever that meaning is produces emotion. Is this the end or the beginning? Is God punishing me or rewarding me, or is this the roll of the dice? And emotion then creates what we're going to do, or the action. So think about your own life, the decisions that have shaped your destiny. And that sounds really heavy, but in the last 5 or 10 years, 15 years, haven't there been some decisions you've made that if you made a different decision, your life would be completely different? How many can think of one, honestly? Better or worse? Say I. So the
And he's so locked in. He's so locked in, and I've heard him say multiple times, the way you lock in and his speaking skills mostly come out of the desire to serve. It's this idea that you are there for the people, not to look a certain way, not for your own image. And you can see it in the way he dresses. I mean, I wouldn't say Tony has the biggest drip out there. It's not about image that much. It really isn't. You can feel it. He's there to serve. And he's locked in. So we're not going to go through the whole speech. If you want to listen to the whole speech, then make sure to check out the video. But I want to point out to the end, because at the end, I remember he did something. It was such a masterpiece, and I cannot ignore that. You have to listen to what happens at the end.
How many of you know somebody who, no matter what happens, finds a way to get pissed off? How many know somebody like this? Or no matter what happens, they find a way to be happy or excited. How many know somebody like this? Come on. When 911 happened, and I'll finish with this, I was in...
Listen carefully to what he's about to do. So he goes to 9/11, which is a story that has a lot of emotion for everyone. Watch what happens.
In Hawaii. I was with 2,000 people from 45 countries. We were translating 4 languages simultaneously for a program that I was conducting for a week. The night before was called Emotional Mastery. I got up, had no plan for this, and I said, we had all this fireworks. I do crazy fun stuff. And then at the end I stopped, and I had this plan I was going to say, but I never do what I'm going to say. And all of a sudden I said, when do people really start to live? When they face death. And then I went through this whole thing about if you were going to get off this island, if 9 days from now you were going to die, who would you call? What would you say? What would you do? One woman, well, that night is when 9/11 happened. One woman had come to the seminar, and when she came there, her previous boyfriend had been kidnapped and murdered. Her friend, or her new boyfriend, wanted to marry her, and she said no. He said, if you leave and go to that Hawaii thing, it's over with us. She said, it's over. When I finished that night, she called him and left a message, true story, at the top of the World Trade Center where he worked, saying, honey, I love you. I just want you to know, I want to marry you. It was stupid of me. She was asleep because it was...
I have goosebumps. Such a master storyteller. I'm locked in the story. My bad, I'll stop interrupting.
3 a.m. for us when he called her back from the top and said, honey, I can't tell you what this means. He said, I don't know how to tell you this, but you give me the greatest gift because I'm going to die. And she played the recording for us in the room. She was on Larry King later. And he said, you're probably wondering how on earth this could happen to you twice. And he said, all I can say to you is, this must be God's message to you, honey. From now on, every day, give your all, love your all. Don't let anything ever stop you. She finishes, And a man stands up and he says, I'm from Pakistan, I'm a Muslim, I'd love to hold your hand and say I'm sorry, but frankly, this is retribution. I can't tell you the rest because I'm out of time. Are you sure?
Finish the story.
Y'all notice what he just did? Did you guys? Probably almost no one has ever done that in TED. Remember, this is an environment of very high-level executives. This man, by the way, I had goosebumps the whole time. Emotions are coming up. The story is epic in terms of a story. Like you have the contrast, it's so deep. And then he drops a fucking, we can call it a hook. He drops the craziest, unexpected surprise. You know, that's usually how episodes and series end, right? And then you want to watch the next one. And then he says, but I cannot tell you the rest because my time is up. He knew exactly what he was doing. And now he's like, bye-bye. And now now look at his frame. Now the people are like, we're going to make an exception. Please come back. Please come back. See how he controlled the frame? Now people are like, please come back to me. Please, I want to hear the rest of the story. We're going to break the rules of TED just for you, Tony. Masterpiece. This is what I wanted to show you guys. How you can absolutely control the frame of a room.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. No, I want to be respectful. 10 seconds. All I can tell you is I brought this man on stage with a man from New York who worked in the World Trade Center because I had about 200 New Yorkers there. More than 50 lost their entire companies, their friends, marking off their Palm Pilots. One financial trader, this woman made of steel, bawling. 30 friends crossing off that all died. And what I did to people is said, what are we going to focus on? What does this mean, and what are we going to do? And I took the group and got people to focus on, if you didn't lose somebody today, your focus is going to be how to serve somebody else. There are people, the woman got up, she was so angry and screaming and yelling. She wasn't from New York, she's not an American, she doesn't know anybody here. I said, you always get angry? She said, yes. Guilty people got guilty, sad people got sad. And I took these two men and did what I call an indirect negotiation. Jewish man with family in the occupied territory, some New York who would have died if he was at work that day. And this man who wanted to be a terrorist and made it very clear. And the integration that happened is on a film, which I'll be happy to send you, so you can really see what actually happened instead of my verbalization of it. But the two of them not only came together and changed their beliefs and models of the world, but they worked together to bring, for almost 4 years now, to various mosques and synagogues, the idea of how to create peace. And he wrote a book, which is called My Jihad, My Way of Peace. So transformation can happen. So my invitation to you is this. Explore your web, the web in here.
Guys, so he ends with this superhero story. I brought two people on stage, ended up changing the world, and now he even wrote a book, this beautiful story of, going from villain to hero, which we all love, and leaving the door open for the next step. All you guys, I could send you the tape of what actually happened so that you can see, because now he triggered the curiosity. And I remember when I first watched this, I immediately went to watch him doing it on live with the people when 9/11 happened, right? So the story he told. And so immediately it's like a lead magnet. It's like immediately opening the door to, oh, you want to know more? Watch me do this at the event. And then at the event, it's like you watch him do it. Oh, well, I want to participate to that event. It's just such a masterpiece. And then he closes his whole lesson with that story so that people remember it.
The needs, the beliefs, the emotions that are controlling you. For two reasons. So there's more of you to give. Achieve too. We all want to do it. But I mean, give. Because that's what's going to fill you up. And secondly, so you can appreciate, not just understand, that's intellectual, that's mind, but appreciate what's driving other people. It's the only way our world's going to change. God bless you. Thank you. I hope this will serve.
Tony Robbins.
Whole room stands up. Everybody clapping. He goes to the person who tried to be a president.
Tony.
Come back here. Come back here. Let's give you even more applauses. A masterpiece, guys. This is how you do it. Study that man. Study that man. This is a big, big part of what I believe is the way to learn speaking. You immerse yourself in the content of the greatest speakers in the world. You watch greatness. You let your brain be a sponge and see what they do, see how they express themselves. And then you go out there and you practice and you practice and you keep watching them and you practice. This is how it happens. Okay? Much love, guys. I'll see you here soon. And comment who you want me to review. Much love.